fossil beds of North Africa. There is a shadow that refuses to settle into history, a creature whose bones have been studied for decades. And yet its true nature remains disputed even today. It did not fit the rules of land predators. It did not behave like river hunters either. And the most disturbing question still burns through modern science. What kind of predator evolved so far outside the rules that even experts cannot agree on what it truly was? And by the end of this video, you'll see why even today, scientists admit they may have completely misjudged this predator. Imagine a prehistoric river, thick with silt, slow-moving and silent. The air is heavy with heat. The water looks calm. But beneath that surface, something waits. Not a fish, not a crocodile. Something larger, heavier, and built for a kind of killing no creature around it fully understood. A long, narrow skull breaks through the water for a breath, then disappears again. Moments later, the river turns violent. Prey vanishes without a splash. No chase, no warning, just absence. For years, paleontologists believed this predator was simply another land-based carnivore, similar to the famous giants that stalked dry ground. Early fossils supported that idea. Long limbs, massive claws, a towering posture. It seemed reasonable, safe, familiar. But then the contradictions began. New discoveries showed bones that were unnaturally dense. This kind of bone structure usually belongs to animals designed for buoyancy control, swimmers, not runners. Later, a different fossil revealed something even stranger. The tail was not shaped for balance on land, but tall and fin-like, built for propulsion in water. The more scientists uncovered, the less certain they became. This creature carried the jaws of a river ambush hunter, the claws of a land killer, and a body that refused to belong fully to either world. Evolution had not refined it neatly. Evolution had experimented wildly. Now think about what that meant for survival. Most apex predators dominate one environment. This one invaded two. It hunted in rivers. It hunted along shorelines. It waited where land animals felt safest and where aquatic prey never expected danger from above. For the creatures of that era, the rules of survival shattered overnight. Fish that had survived millions of years of underwater predators suddenly faced an enemy that attacked from the air and the shore. Land animals that outran giants on open ground now faced death from beneath the water itself. There was no longer a safe zone. Its teeth were not built to slice flesh like typical land hunters. They were cone-shaped, designed to grip, to hold, to deny escape. Once seized, prey rarely broke free. This predator did not rely on speed. It relied on timing, stillness, perfect ambush. And ambush hunters do not need to be fast when surprise does all the work. Yet this terrifying design carried a silent flaw. On dry land, this predator was not graceful. Its weight pulled it forward. Its limbs were powerful but awkward for sustained pursuit. If it moved too far from water, it became vulnerable. Faster, more agile hunters could outmaneuver it. On open ground, it could become prey. It lived balanced on the edge between two worlds. Half of its life was hidden beneath murky river surfaces. The other half was a dangerous gamble along shorelines where one misstep meant death. Even today, Scientists still argue over which world truly defined it. Some believe it was primarily aquatic, a river monster that ventured onto land only when necessary. Others insist it remained a land predator that simply learned to exploit rivers as hunting grounds. The truth remains trapped between layers of stone. Each fossil discovery shifts the scale again. One skeleton suggests powerful swimming ability. Another implies weight-bearing limbs meant for brief time on land. Some bones appear built for floating, others for dragging mass through water. No two reconstructions tell the exact same story. It is as if this predator exists only in fragments, never presenting a complete identity to the modern world. Now picture the riverbank at dusk. Large animals gather cautiously to drink. The water reflects the dying light of the sun. The surface is perfectly still, no ripples, no warning. Then, without sound, the water collapses upward. Jaws close. The river erupts in chaos. In seconds, the prey is gone. Silence returns. No roar, no long struggle, just absence. This predator did not advertise its dominance. It erased its victims quietly. And secrecy is the most terrifying advantage in nature. What makes this even more unsettling is that this creature lived alongside some of the most dangerous land predators in history. It did not challenge them openly. It did not compete for territory in open plains. It avoided direct dominance by mastering a battlefield they could not fully control. Rivers became its territory. Shorelines became traps. It did not hunt giants head-on. It waited for them to drink. But dominance built on a narrow strategy is always fragile. When river systems shifted, when climates changed, when prey habits evolved, its advantage began to collapse. A body designed to conquer two worlds could not adapt when both worlds transformed at the same time. Flexible predators migrated. Some changed their diet, others altered their hunting behavior. This one was locked into a narrow evolutionary corridor. And when that corridor disappeared, there was no escape route. It faded. Not in one dramatic extinction, but through gradual disappearance. Rivers dried or changed course. Shorelines moved. Prey vanished or transformed. The very traps this predator depended on stopped working. A hunter that once ruled water and land became trapped between them. Yet millions of years later, its identity still refuses to settle. Scientists continue to argue over its posture, its movement, its true hunting behavior. Some reconstructions show it walking on all fours, others place it upright. Some depict it gliding through rivers like a colossal crocodile. Others show it stalking muddy banks like a nightmare drawn from an unfinished sketch. Every new fossil rewrites the story again. And this raises a darker question. What happens when evolution experiments too aggressively? This predator may represent one of nature's boldest attempts to merge two apex strategies into a single design. For millions of years, it nearly succeeded. It ruled a world that no longer exists. But perfection in one era can become extinction in the next. Not every powerful design survives change. Sometimes the most terrifying hunters disappear not because they were weak, but because they were too specialized to endure transformation. This unknown killer was not just muscle and teeth. It was a lesson carved into stone. Strength is not enough. Balance is survival. Flexibility is endurance. And even now, long after its rivers have shifted and its prey has vanished, this predator still forces science to confront an uncomfortable truth. Nature does not always create perfect forms. Sometimes it creates experiments, and not every experiment is meant to last. A hunter that refused to choose one world and paid the ultimate price when both worlds changed. So, tell me, do you think this predator was truly a river monster, or a land hunter that learned to invade the water? And in the next video, we'll uncover a prehistoric terror so destructive that it didn't just hunt victims, it shattered the entire food chain itself. If this mystery fascinated you, like this video, share it with someone who loves prehistoric killers and subscribe so you don't miss the next discovery. Your support keeps these stories alive.